Philosophies Revived.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the lives of some of the most fascinating figures in history and extract timeless wisdom for our modern lives. Today, we're exploring a topic that touches all of us at some point: loneliness. And who better to guide us through this than the legendary samurai, Miyamoto Musashi? Grab your tea, find a comfy spot, and let's unravel how Musashi tackled loneliness and what we can learn from it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Imagine this: Japan. Over 400 years ago, a fierce samurai wanders the lands, not just battling opponents, but also grappling with profound solitude. Yes, I'm talking about Miyamoto Musashi, a name synonymous with strength and strategy. But behind the warrior facade was a man who deeply understood the nuances of loneliness. Now, let's get this straight, folks. When we talk about Musashi and loneliness, we're not just talking about feeling a bit down because you've got no plans on a Friday night. We're diving into the kind of solitude that shapes character and forges resilience. How did Musashi, a man more alone than most, turn his solitude into a source of power? Let's find out. Understanding loneliness through Musashi's eyes. Musashi wasn't just a samurai. He was also a philosopher of sorts. In his iconic work, the Decoded, or The Path of Aloneness, he laid out 21 precepts for living, which included pearls of wisdom on how to handle solitude. One of his key principles? Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Sounds a bit stark, right? But think about it. Musashi is telling us not to depend solely on external joys, the company of others, the buzz of social gatherings to feel complete. He's nudging us towards finding joy in our own company, in the silence of our thoughts. Now, let's break this down. Why is this powerful? Because when you're comfortable being alone, you're no longer held hostage by the need for constant social interaction. You become the master of your own happiness. Imagine living in a world where your peace doesn't hinge on the presence of others, where your sense of fulfillment comes from within. That's what Musashi mastered. His life wasn't devoid of connections, but he knew how to be alone without being lonely. This distinction is crucial. Loneliness is the emotional state we experience when we perceive isolation as a negative. Being alone, on the other hand, can be a powerful state of engagement with oneself. Musashi's time was marked by countless battles, not only with enemies, but with his own inner challenges. Each moment of solitude was an opportunity for introspection, for planning his next moves in life and in combat. His writings suggest a deep commitment to personal mastery and self-sufficiency. He believed in training not just the body, but also the mind and spirit. So how do we apply this to our lives? First, by understanding that solitude can be a state of productive engagement. It's not about filling every moment with noise and activity. It's about embracing the quiet and finding the rhythm of your own thoughts. It's about using those quiet moments to reflect on who you are and who you want to be. Musashi wrote that we should not fear solitude. Instead, we should use it as a forge for our character. In modern terms, think about the times you felt most alone. What were you doing? How did you feel? Now, imagine transforming those moments into periods of growth. Instead of scrolling through your phone feeling disconnected, what if you picked up a book, planned your next project, or simply sat with your thoughts and allowed them to guide you towards your next big idea? In embracing solitude, Musashi developed a resilience that was unparalleled. His ability to be alone with his thoughts, to not just endure but thrive in solitude, allowed him to become one of the most revered samurais in history. We can take a leaf from his book. By learning to enjoy our own company, we can turn what many perceive as loneliness into a powerful tool for personal development. So, I challenge you. Next time you find yourself alone, think of Musashi. Instead of reaching out for your phone or feeling that pang of isolation, dive deeper into your own world. Explore your thoughts, make plans, create something new, or simply be in the moment. You may just find that in the heart of solitude lies your greatest strength and freedom. The power of productive solitude. Now, let's spin this on its head. Imagine loneliness not as a dark cloud, but as a blank canvas. It's just you and your potential. No distractions, just pure focus. This is where Musashi's concept shines. He spent years honing his craft in solitude, which made him legendary. What if we viewed our lonely periods as opportunities? A time to dive deep into projects, learn new skills, or just to reflect and grow. Think about it. Ever noticed how some of your best ideas come when you're alone? That's no coincidence. It's your mind telling you that solitude can be your secret weapon if you let it. How can you transform your next lonely evening into a powerhouse of productivity and self-discovery? Musashi often retreated from the world to better understand it. In his solitude, he polished his skills, contemplated strategy, and wrote reflections that would later guide warriors and non-warriors alike. This wasn't wasted time. It was essential to his growth. And here's the kicker: such productive solitude can be essential for us too. Consider this: the world is loud. Our days are cluttered with demands from work, social obligations, and constant digital notifications. It's easy to get swept away in the chaos. But when you're alone, the noise stops. You are left with your thoughts, your dreams, and your tools. This is your time to shine, to delve into the projects you've been putting off, or to pick up that guitar gathering dust in the corner. Productive solitude means setting goals for yourself. It means using your time alone not to dwell on what you're missing out on, but to create something meaningful. Write that book chapter, start that online course, meditate, or practice mindfulness. Each of these activities enhances your skills and enriches your life. And let's not forget, Musashi was a master of strategy, not just in battle, but in life. His periods of solitude allowed him to strategize, to step back and see the bigger picture. We can use our alone time in the same way. Reflect on your past actions, plan your future, and strategize about your goals. This kind of strategic thinking can lead to profound insights and life-changing decisions. But productive solitude isn't just about achieving things. It's also about self-discovery. It's about asking yourself deep, tough questions. Who are you when no one else is around? What fears are you avoiding in the hustle and bustle of everyday life? What dreams are you neglecting? Musashi knew the value of these questions. He used his solitude to confront himself, to peel back the layers of his persona and understand his core. And you can do the same. Use your solitude to get to know yourself better. Understand your strengths, acknowledge your weaknesses, and plan how you can improve on both. In essence, think of productive solitude as a personal workshop. It's your private lab where you experiment, create, and refine. It's where you build the resilience to face the world with a clearer vision and a stronger spirit. Just like Musashi, you can emerge from periods of loneliness not just unscathed, but enhanced, equipped with new insights and a renewed sense of purpose. So, next time solitude knocks on your door, welcome it as an old friend. Invite it in, spend quality time with it, and use it to fuel your personal and professional growth. You might find that this lonely time becomes your most productive and enlightening time. Embracing and learning from solitude. Musashi's life teaches us that solitude isn't something to be feared, but something to be harnessed. He wrote, "Accept everything just the way it is." Simple yet profound, right? When you stop fighting loneliness, when you embrace it, you allow yourself to learn from it. Here's a metaphor for you. Think of loneliness as the winter season of your life. It might feel cold and desolate, but just like winter prepares the earth for spring, loneliness prepares you for growth. It's in these quiet moments that you discover who you truly are, what you really want, and how you're going to get there. Accepting solitude can be challenging. We're social creatures by nature, wired for connection. But Musashi shows us that there's tremendous value in being alone with your thoughts. In these moments, you're not just passing time, you're engaging in a deep conversation with yourself. Think about it. How often do we get to really talk to ourselves? Not just the superficial chats about daily tasks or responsibilities, but the deep, meaningful conversations that challenge our beliefs and push our boundaries. Solitude offers this rare opportunity. Musashi used these conversations to refine his philosophy and approach to life. He didn't just sit back and let thoughts come and go. He actively engaged with them, questioned them, and tested them against his values and experiences. This practice made him not only a great warrior, but a profound thinker. We can adopt this practice by using tools like journaling, meditation, or even long walks alone. These activities allow us to slow down and think more deeply about our lives. Journaling, for instance, helps you articulate thoughts you didn't even know you had. It brings clarity and sometimes unexpected solutions to your deepest problems. Meditation, on the other hand, teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment, to understand your mind's patterns. This can be incredibly enlightening, helping you break free from negative thought cycles that may be exacerbating feelings of loneliness. And those long walks, they give you the physical and mental space to breathe and reflect. There's something about the rhythm of your steps and the quiet of your surroundings that can help thoughts flow more freely. By embracing these practices, you turn solitude into a sanctuary. Instead of a place of loneliness, it becomes a place of learning and self-care. It's here, in the quiet, that you can hear your own voice the loudest. And what you learn about yourself during these times can empower you to make more authentic decisions in your life. Musashi's ability to embrace and learn from solitude also helped him maintain his composure in the face of adversity. He didn't react impulsively to challenges. He responded with the wisdom and insight gained during his times alone. This is a powerful skill, and it's one that we can all develop. So, let's start viewing our alone time as a precious resource. Let's treat it as a period for growth and self-discovery, not something to be dreaded or avoided. By changing our perspective on solitude, we can transform it into one of our greatest allies in the journey of life. Next time you find yourself alone, remember Musashi's words, accept everything just the way it is. Let this acceptance guide you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your place in the world. Turn the quiet into your classroom, where you are both the student and the teacher, learning and teaching in the serene silence of solitude, connecting deeply with the world. Musashi once said, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." Powerful, isn't it? When we're lonely, it's easy to get caught up in our own heads. But what if we shifted our focus outward? What if, instead of dwelling on our solitude, we connected more deeply with the world around us? Loneliness can be a doorway to understanding the broader human experience, a way to forge deeper connections, not just with people, but with life itself. Engage more with your community, spend more time in nature, and watch how your feelings of isolation begin to diminish. Musashi's lifestyle, though often solitary, was deeply connected to the natural world around him. He didn't see himself above or apart from it, but as an integral part of it. This connection provided him with strength and insight, and it can do the same for us. Imagine yourself walking through a forest, much like Musashi might have. With each step, you're not just moving through space, you're connecting with the earth, with the history of the place, and with the life forms around you. This is not just a walk, it's an interaction, a conversation without words. Or consider the act of volunteering. By helping others, you step outside of your own narrative and participate in someone else's. This not only reduces feelings of loneliness, but also enriches your life with perspectives and experiences different from your own. This outward focus is crucial, especially today. In our digital age, it's easy to feel connected while being physically alone scrolling through social media, watching videos. But real connections happen in the physical world, in the give and take of real interactions. So, how can we start? It begins with a choice. Choose to be curious about the world. When you talk to someone, listen deeply. When you walk, notice the small details, the patterns on leaves, the way light filters through branches, the sounds of the city or the quiet of the countryside. These details aren't just background, they're the fabric of life. They remind us that we're part of a larger tapestry, intricate and interconnected. And as Musashi understood, when you think deeply of the world, you start to see your own place within it, not as a solitary figure, but as a connected, integral part of the whole. And remember, connecting deeply with the world also means embracing its ups and downs, accepting the natural flow of life, its seasons, its changes, its challenges. Just as Musashi accepted the impermanence of life, we too can find peace by understanding that we're part of something larger, something fluid and ever-changing. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity, it means engagement. It's about taking active steps to connect, to learn, and to grow. It's about finding joy in the quiet evening, yes, but also finding joy in the shared morning, in the laughter and stories of friends and strangers alike. As we conclude, let's take these thoughts with us. Let's not only focus on our solitude, but also on how we can engage with the world in meaningful ways. Let's use our alone time to recharge and reflect, but let's also use our energy to contribute, to be part of the larger conversation happening all around us. So, what have we learned from Musashi? That loneliness, while deeply personal, is also a shared human experience. It can serve as a conduit to deeper insights about our existence and our connections with others. When we shift our focus to the world around us, we find comfort, we find purpose, and we find that our personal experiences, including periods of loneliness, are just small parts of a vast, complex world. Thanks for joining me today. If this video resonated with you, give us a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. Here's to embracing solitude and turning it into strength. See you in the next video.